definitely a roller coaster. Like, definitely a roller coaster. Anyone that tells you different, they lie to you. I'm Gregory Lamore, born and raised in North Miami, Florida.
My name is Andre Smith. I was born in Jamaica. I'm an entrepreneur, clothing brand owner, content creator.
I am of Haitian descent. Both my parents are Haitian. They've been hustlers since the beginning. My mom is a nurse. She's been a nurse for coming up on 30 years. My dad, he's an entrepreneur as well. And I have a daughter, Eve. I also have an adopted daughter, Milan. Eve is 18 months. She was born September 16th, 2019, just before the pandemic.
When I'm not creating, I like to skateboard or draw, which is kind of like a form of creation. Other than that, in my downtime, I like to watch some anime, play some games, research some stuff, little small things. The name of my brand is Descargo Inc. You know, it's a name I kind of created. It's a derivative of escargot, and it's relative to snails. I started my clothing brand in like 2012. I just didn't want to keep letting somebody else dictate my life. You know, I wanted to kind of assert some type of control in like my life is like financially, or being able to see what like my limits are, what I can do for myself, instead of depending on the system, like, you know, to give me things. The only type of imagery that I use for my brand is either between ice creams or snails, but you know, it's a reflection of imagery that I use to create like just one thing. The idea just like came to me like raindrops on still waters, and just like created this rippling effect that I ignored for a while, but then it kept coming back to me. Ice cream snail, ice cream snail, ice cream snail. And until I couldn't ignore it no more, like I just accepted it, and I decided to say thank God, because it's like when the idea came to me, I was like struggling a little bit. So I gave out a quick prayer, and that prayer came back, and then ice cream snail. The brand itself has to like do with representation for myself, but at the same time I try to also do representation outside of my brand.
G Money Aquatics, it came about through me chartering my own boat. Last year was a little difficult, especially with COVID, because they closed down the marinas. So we couldn't, you know, really charter out as much as we wanted to. And then when they did open it, it was limited to 6 people, trying to get people on as much as I can. But that boat went from making about $5,000 a month, give or take, to making around like $2,000 a month. Now, if you account for maintenance issues and fixing the boat plus storage, it really did cut into the profits.
So last year, to be honest, was pivotal, you feel me? The year before that, I was just working, trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do with the brand for the next year. And it's like since I was working, I decided to just like let creativity do its thing and just like flow through in my mind. And then it's like I found myself stumbling upon like this design concept, the one that I'm actually wearing right now. I started pushing it, and it was going like really great. Sales were up, promotions were great, like everybody loved it. And then COVID hit. Damn, we in a pandemic. Nobody's gonna buy clothes. Nobody's gonna buy clothes or want clothes to be made. So it's like, how do I follow up with that? Just like before, I was kind of wondering what is next. You know, what am I gonna do as far as like my brand, myself? But you know, something came to me, and I just kept waiting.
Always I feel responsible. Trying to say that all my problems is improper.
When COVID first started, no one can leave. Remember, there was a time where no one can actually go out unless you were, you know, an essential worker. Because some months you made nothing, you know, because of COVID. You know, you can't go out there, you can't do any work. So because the marinas are closed down and everyone was in isolation for a couple of months, I was used to having about 10 to 12 people on board at a time, you know, where it's like, everyone wants to go and party with their friends. And when you limit it to 6, now you have to choose which 6 friends you're gonna bring. And it's like, it's 6 including me, so 6 is really 5. Trying to make sure that everything was going according to COVID-19, the COVID-19 restrictions, from people going on and off of the boat. You have to sanitize it, you have to clean it, you have to make sure that it is up to par for the next group of people that are coming in. We got a 20-foot mat now, so instead of everyone having to sit on the boat, you can sit on the mat. It has the same effect as you being on the sandbar, because it's floating, you know, like you're literally in the middle of the ocean floating. But, you know, we make do, and we try to pretty much just make it so that it is a safe environment and a cleaner environment for all those who want to partake in the G Money Aquatics. experience.
Never stops. Now what you got? If you're not making money, you're spending it. Remember that.
It's like things started getting much better when I decided to buy a heat press. It's not like it's something that I could have thought about buying a long time ago, but it just never occurred to me because at the time when I first started working, it's not what I wanted to do. And not too long after that, I went and got myself a little Cricut vinyl cutter, started cutting up vinyl. I was excited about that, put all my good energy into that. And then when the year after that came, like all that started coming to me. Like I said, I found myself creating this design with my little vinyl cutter. I used the heat transfer machine just to stamp on a little design using vinyl, and then it was pretty much a wrap from there. Like it just gave me the confidence, and it just gave me the confidence that I needed to keep moving forward.
When they opened everything up, they opened up marinas first. So it was really like the only thing to do for like 2 months was go out on the water. So unless you had a boat, you couldn't do that. You would just be limited to going to the beach. So I would say probably around last year's summer when they started opening things up in stages, it was a changing point for G-Money Aquatics as far as, income-wise.
Right now I'm just trying to slowly but surely be more involved with the community, get my clothes on local rappers, actually trying to do stuff for community service. I reach out to other designers. I'm just trying to be as involved with everything as possible that I can, even for the smallest things, even if it's with kids. I try to be involved with skateboarding as much as possible. I used to make skateboards, skate wax, all that stuff. I try to hold my own little events to try and make people come out, feel good, network, communicate.
We have the sunset cruises. They're a big hit. We also do fantasy shoots. So the fantasy shoots really came in clutch because it's wedding season. Fantasy shoots are pretty much when there is a couple who's about to get married and you team up with a photographer and they just take these amazing shots on the water, as well as drone footage of them, pretty much, showing the magic, showing the love.
When you pray about something and then God answers your prayers, you just got to recognize it for that. I remember when I was starting the brand, like I said, I was trying to have these design ideas, and I was taking a week to figure out what I wanted my brand to be. I gave out my prayer and I said, God, I don't want anything that's just gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? I want something that's gonna last well beyond my years, and something that has a strong foundation that's gonna be able to show its worth. Taking its steps to be developed in the right way, because my brand is a reflection of me and my own personal journey, you know what I'm saying? So it's I feel like as long as it's set up to be established long past me, everything will be all right. A lot of other people, when they see me at the time when I was growing my brand, liked it. People would actually come and shout out to me what is that on your t-shirt and what is it? They'll be curious, and that's everything I prayed for people to be curious, for them to always take a second look at what I got going on, you know what I'm saying? And so far, ever since I came up with the imagery and ever since it was gifted to me, I just been working with it, and the blessings just been coming. So how can you try and fix something that's not broken?
If you're ever thinking about buying a boat, I need you to remember this acronym. BOAT stands for bring out another 1,000. They are not lying when they say this. Everything costs 1,000. It's ridiculous. The smallest thing.
It's I don't try to put it on a linear line. I try to put it on a perspective scope, where it's just as long as I can reach out to someone to try and think higher of themselves, for themselves, I feel the world would almost work to be one step closer to being a better place. But it's what I want to offer to people, I haven't amassed that yet. If I inspire one person a year, that's good enough for me. If I inspire one person a week, that's fine. One person a day, that's amazing, because that's 365 people a day. Inspire one person an hour, that's even more amazing, because I don't know what the math is, but that's a lot of people an hour within a year, you feel me? My dream is to literally be everything that I am, an inspiration towards other people. So if there's somebody in a predicament that's probably worse than me, or somebody who looks like me, or who wants to do the things that I do, they can see that the example has already been set. You know what I mean? I don't want to go out here influencing people in a negative way. I want to show them that, yeah, you can work hard and actually bear fruits from your labor if you actually go about it the right way, because things have been hard. It wasn't always easy. Thank God my life was set up in a way for me to receive blessings. You know what I mean? Entrepreneurship as a whole, I would encourage every and anybody to go after it fully. Oh my God, America is full of If you can't free yourself through your own hands, I don't think you'll ever actually find freedom, because it's freedom comes in many shapes and forms, because it's people are suppressed at their jobs, some people are suppressed in their lives, because it's millionaires and celebrities are not happy. And it's like the normal people who have to go to work their 9 to 5s are not happy. I feel like through entrepreneurship, honestly, you could test your limits and your metals. And if it works out for you, I feel like you'll feel a lot more self-accomplished as opposed to somebody who's trying to delegate your worth and mitigate how far you can go in your life. I feel like that's up to you.
My biggest goal is to be like my father. You know what I mean? Like the person that will definitely, if my kids need anything, all they need to do is ask. Or I want to make sure that my children are ready for any opportunity. They can take advantage of any opportunity that comes, you know, towards them. Just again, a native, just trying to be an influence or a guide to the youth that whatever your background is, wherever you come from, you can still make it. You can, again, be your own boss. You can make money at your own accord.
Out of me, you can just expect me to be a better person because I hope I am not going to be who I am today, tomorrow. Out of the brand, you could expect some dope designs, content, visuals, amazing clothing, skateboards, wax. Everything I'm going to do is just quality. I refuse to settle for less or give anybody anything less than that. So, you know, just keep a lookout. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at Descargo Inc., all that stuff. Just to be updated with everything that we got going on, because I promise you, you're gonna want to see what's happening, because it's like everything I do is fire, man. If I could just pat myself on the back. It's all original, it's unique, and moreover, I've been blessed by the Most High, so how can I lose?